Good night, Capiche.
Good night, kapeash.
Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube only. This is Good Night, Capiche. And the reason why you hear all this non enjoyment of the show is because we're getting into true crime. So everybody tonight got their thinking caps on. They got their serious. Um, to be honest with you, all jokes aside, this case right here we're gonna cover. It seems to be very complicated, mixed stories, um, and something I can honestly say this. I kind of think we need to cover. I think this is a good example of getting into true crime. What you should expect over here on True Crime. I'm your host, Capiche, Kick Ass Nick, Nene My Love. We all in the building. It's the Burn Live. Good night, Capiche. It's going down. Let's get into it. Okay, so I almost like that intro. It was a little too serious, but I almost like it. Okay, y'all. So we have a unsolved mystery. How would you describe this?
I would describe it as a murder investigation that might lead down a rabbit hole for more investigations.
Like a cold case.
It ain't cold yet. It ain't even been a year yet. So I wouldn't call it cold. I mean, it feels kind of cold, I ain't gonna lie. But
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got this case, got this interesting story from a TikTok influencer.
yeah,
To
he was a TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, he was doing it all.
ladies and gentlemen, without a further ado, let's get into the story.
Tonight, singer David, now a suspect in connection with the death of Celeste Rivas, according to a Los Angeles police source with direct knowledge of the investigation, telling NBC4 Los Angeles. The 15-year-old's decomposed remains were found in September inside a Tesla registered to him at a Los Angeles tow yard. But the girl was reported missing last year, according to authorities. Now, the LA
Girl been missing for a year, filed in wannabe celebrities Tesla.
Oh,
A
wasn't
year after she became missing. Okay.
he wasn't a wannabe though, he was on board for.
PD source saying David has not been cooperative, adding Rivas' death likely occurred in the spring and that the singer likely had help in dismembering and disposing of the body. Law enforcement sources have said the remains were not intact, and according to the medical examiner, it appeared the girl, who was described as having wavy black hair and weighing about 71 pounds, had been dead inside the Tesla for an extended period of time. The singer David.
Oh, I like that. I like that right there. That's leaving a whole lot of. How long was the girl in the car? We've been knowing the girl's been missing for a year. How long was the dead body in the car? That truly matters for as us out here trying to solve this case.
But even see how they say she was reported missing. This wasn't the first time. Her
This was
parents
the
reported her
second.
missing. She was a runaway type of situation.
Yeah, this was the second time that she did that.
So to my question for y'all, when y'all heard that, it sounds like what? Problem at home.
Of course, I think that there was definitely, my personal opinion, I think that there definitely was.
And then I'm just going by the picture. We're just looking at the picture because I don't know, but this right here is a little disturbing. Just the outfit and the hair. It's disturbing. But yet again, problems at home. It doesn't sound like both parents that are sound like it's a one-parent home issue.
Whose real name is David Anthony Burke, rose to fame on TikTok and was on tour when the body was found this summer. Now, David at the center of this gruesome and devastating investigation. And Rivas's remains were identified through forensics, but we still don't know the circumstances around how she went missing or how she died. Tom?
We still don't know how she went missing. Who caught?
Or even how she died.
Who filed the missing report?
I think her
family
mom.
did.
Yeah, I think her mom
Her
did.
mom. Okay.
Okay, let me grab my thing so I can. I think it was her mom.
But it's like this. Basically, her family filed a missing report, but it was kind of like a known secret as to where she was.
Yeah, because they knew that she was. What it sounds like is they knew that she was with him.
And to me, that's part of the reason why it hasn't been solved yet, because so many people will be complicit in this young lady's death.
Well, there's so many missing pieces too. It's like we know what we do know is she was found in the trunk of his car.
Yes. Okay. Cool. We know she was in the trunk of the car. We know she was missing, or let me say it like that. We know she was reported missing a year prior to being found in the car.
Yes.
And I'm assuming y'all know that she had more than one interaction with the guy.
They knew that she was involved with somebody named David. And there's other videos that show him paying off her friends, like handing them cash.
Okay, so I'm on YouTube right now, looking it up real fast, real quick, y'all. Okay, so law and crime covered it.
Yep.
News coverages. So this was really covered by the news 6 to 4 months ago, heavily.
Yeah, because we was all trying to figure out. Everybody was trying to figure out.
Okay, so let's go. Let's check this out, y'all. Let's go to the Law and Order and get their perspective of it. Hear the case from them.
There is major new reporting in the David case right now. Allegations of a new.
It's called. So he's actually on trial for this, right?
No.
No, there has been no charges.
No formal charges yet. Can I say why I think it hasn't been? Because they probably can't prove how she died.
Yeah, but to me, something needs, man.
Okay, so when we heard the first report, it said allegedly body has something to do with dismantling and moving the body. And the only reason I think they said that is because I'm assuming that the Tesla is in his name.
The Tesla is definitely registered to him from his Texas address.
We do have entourage. We do have those who know how to pretend to be somebody just to get the groupies.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But like I said, they can't prove how she died.
Okay, let's get into this.
Who's second suspect and macabre details of how the body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was allegedly disposed of that will just make you sick.
Now, then the other.
How old is this man?
Are you here, adult?
He's in his 20s. Let me see. I'll find it to see exactly. I think he was like 20. Let me go find it.
See, my thing is how I have to look at this situation, and things that I'm gonna say I know are gonna be triggering.
Same here. Because
I need to put up a disclaimer page from here on out. My next intro gonna have a disclaimer page.
15-year-old girl chopped up in the trunk of a celebrity.
Okay, can we do one thing that's gonna be harsh?
What?
Understand what 15 and 14-year-old girls are trying to think they're going through around that age.
Oh no, I understand. I blame the parents.
He's 21, or he's 21. No, he's not. Why does it say he's 21?
And the fact, okay, this is not a fact, but I can allegedly think, almost logically, that this girl probably at a little bit mature than her age. I'm assuming. I'm guessing.
Whether she acted mature or not, that like blame the parents and blame the person who killed her, and him too if he was involved.
See, yeah, I can't jump, and I'm glad you said it like that. I can't jump and blame the parents if there's any evidence of me being sneaky.
The parents knew she was dating.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So
that's what I'm saying. You know when your kid is fast or not. And that's this the part right here of how we're talking. I know is sensitive about this to people.
You also, I mean, of course, you know your child, you know if they're fast or not, but also everybody morals on the line. They probably looked at it like that's their meal ticket. You know?
You have those parents too.
They probably looked at it like that's their meal ticket. Because based off what I researched from the drop of the case, it was a known secret. It was a known secret. That's why everybody.
A known secret. What?
That they were together.
That they were together.
Yeah, it was very known by.
It shows backstage. So that is a 15-year-old girl. So everybody is complicit, from the managers, entourage, parents.
Hey, I keep stopping because I just have questions before we get deep into it. But I'm actually let's get into this for real.
And again, this is the girl whose body was found in a car, reportedly registered to the singer. If this is all true, it leads a whole new set of questions about what we can expect.
Pictures of them
Welcome
together.
to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. By the way, before we get more into this, just gotta say something real quick. Have you ever left a meeting and thought to yourself, all these hours of meeting notes, this 14-year-old girl was found in the trunk of a car allegedly registered to David back on September 8th out in LA. But the back and forth on this has been really, really confusing because the LAPD had come out at one point and said they weren't sure if there was a crime beyond concealment of the body. And we were all waiting for the official LA County medical examiner's results and toxicology reports to come in. To be clear, there have been no arrests in connection with Celeste's death. But now let's talk about what just happened. According to TMZ, sources close to the investigation tell them that Celeste's body was frozen, that it had actually been thawed out, that she had been decapitated, that her limbs had been severed and cut into pieces. Look, I'm sorry I have to say this, okay? I'm sorry I'm mentioning this, but this is the report. I hope it's not true. And I will add this, though, if it is true, the ME potentially can't determine a cause of death. Again, this is all according to TMZ. And actually, talking the ME, KTLA reported that Celeste's case number is 2025-14252. And when searching that,
Baby, write that down.
to TMZ,
What? Write what down?
KTLA reported that Celeste's case number is 2025
2025 14252.
Okay, hold on. Say it again. My computer is running too slow.
2025 14252.
one four two five two. And when searching that number on the ME's page online, it had listed the cause of death as deferred pending additional tests. However, now, according to KTLA, that has changed on Friday. When you plug in that case number, all the fields are now empty. So KTLA has speculated whether that means a determination has been made in this case, or whether there has been a security measure been put in place upon official release to the public. And sources apparently telling TMZ, though, that the cause and manner of death could ultimately be listed as undetermined. Now, if that's true, it raises a ton of questions, and it may explain some of the confusing elements of this case. And look, it should also be noted that TMZ is reporting that in the rental property in the Hollywood Hills, which was near where that Tesla was parked on Bluebird Avenue, seemingly abandoned before it was towed away to the tow yard and Celeste's body was found inside, in that rental property where David had apparently been staying, TMZ claims that if you look at photos from inside that house from a few years ago, there is a large KitchenAid refrigerator freezer. And they go into the dimensions and whether it's possible, again, sorry.
Hmm.
This is going to sound racist, I guess. What is this man ethnic background?
Who?
David.
He's black.
He black.
Black and what? Black and black or black and something else?
No, I think both of his parents are.
Okay, I'm just hey, listen.
Why you ask that?
Huh?
Right. Well, why did you ask that?
Because it's just starting to go, it's starting to go a little they're trying to make him sound premeditated.
It definitely. Yeah. I mean,
Just the little scattering of information that I'm hearing, they're trying their best to really make this sound premeditated. So, I'm not knocking nobody. I'm being more sarcastic of an asshole. That's why I was asking what to call it, because people will say that, there are a list of things that we just don't do. Black people don't do. The number one thing at the top of that list, I'll say that for one, is say black people definitely don't hang themselves on trees. They just don't do that. That's a load of bullshit. But I let things like that slide. But this one right here is just one of those things.
I mean, no, I would disagree with that. When you say black people don't hang themselves on trees,
huh?
To a certain degree, man, people do dumb things and don't care.
When black people say that, it's like saying that black people don't commit suicide. And if you can say that black people can commit suicide and do commit suicide, sorry for this touchy subject, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot rule out I'm gonna commit every suicide but the tree one.
Oh, no, I see what you mean. I thought you were talking about figuratively.
No, they be meaning
Literal.
yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like figuratively.
No, and I'm only bringing this up because I literally have argued that on Talk of the Tick. That's where those arguments come from. That's the only reason why I'm able to have this part of a conversation, because yet again, they all admit that it does happen in our community. But they were like, but that one right there, what the fuck? You trying to say a country motherfucker outside, hill back, all he knows is trees and wheats and groves and front. He wanna take. I'm not gonna pick my best tree, my favorite tree that I used to hang out under. Boy, stop playing with me. Make it make sense.
Well, I will say this before you finish, before you go back to the video. They are trying to paint a certain picture, though. They are trying to paint a certain picture, but the fact that they can't tell how she died, like,
if the body is that dismantled, yeah, it's gonna be hard to tell. But yet again, dismantling bodies only come from a few country-minded people. And I had to be a smart ass, and yeah, only few people fit that category of nature.
I don't know, man.
Oh.
Or a mutilated body could fit.
What happened to the sound?
It's a lot of questions that 100% has some type of answer.
But they
and law, go ahead.
They don't know the answers, though.
But
see how they wording it is all speculation.
Yeah, speculation. But I'm just like, it's giving me a headache, and I bet it's giving the detective headache, because it's like, yo, this is Los Angeles. Okay, Los Angeles is huge. Another thing Los Angeles is very known for is having cameras all over the place.
Exactly.
But listen to what you just said. It's probably giving the detectives headaches. I think the detectives know what happened. I think they know what happened. They just don't want to say it. Or
why?
For whatever reason.
Give me a reason. That's what right there. That's what I be talking about. I need logical reasons when y'all statements like that to make it make sense. Okay.
Maybe they just trying to gather more evidence on the person they think did it. Maybe the person they think did it didn't do it and just affiliated with the person who really did it. But they think that boy knows something, whether he did it or not. And maybe they just trying to build enough evidence.
I would go back to when I said your entourage. You know what I'm saying? And I can be in this, I'm gonna put myself in the predicament, so maybe it can be the audience and people can understand where I'm coming from when I say your entourage. When you're building a foundation, a empire. I'm gonna use that word, empire or something, and you have people put in positions to cover certain things. Mm-hmm. When they slack or when they fuck up, you're that fall boy. And I'm using that word because I could have sworn I had this conversation with y'all two personally.
You know, and what's really crazy that you say that in this situation is because speculation is there is going to be a fall boy.
You remember when I was having a conversation with y'all and I said you gotta have a fall boy?
Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can always have a fall boy, but you gotta make sure that you aren't the fall boy. And what makes me in this predicament, in this position, I'm just and hypothetically talking, what make me the fall boy is because I'm the leader. Everybody affiliates the name with me, so anything goes down. When somebody go rent something, when somebody go loan something, somebody go get something, they most likely are going to use my business card, so it's going to fall under me, right? So if I'm the leader and I still have a fallout boy and he just oh my God, this dude really would put me out there and really ain't got my back and really would, all right, let me go and do this. And guess who's gonna be blamed for?
Okay, and I love that idea, but let me tell you, this man's number one song is called Romantic Homicide.
That is true.
And he has a video of him throwing himself in the backseat of or the trunk of a car. It's too coincidental for me.
See, now stuff like that gets into like a spiritual mindset, like you, or let me get out of that. When people really want to live the life that they rap or sing, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, yeah, those fall into those categories. Yeah, this situation sounds like that. It I don't know.
No, you're right. It's definitely on a spiritual level.
And I definitely agree with that, and I feel that, and it just makes me. This is deeper.
But the number one question, let's go back to it, and let me do this so we can bring people up to par and they're just coming here understanding what we're talking about. The question was if they already know, because he said that the detectives already know, they just don't want to tell. I need like why? What logical, what entity, what mindset, what T's been crossed where I's been dotted to say, you know what, I can't mess with this. Only thing that comes across my mind logically is a paper getting handed down to you from a higher above. Like this political act cannot be put out there because yet again it's detrimental to TikTok. But yet again, I feel like saying that I'm totally wrong and off. Don't get it twisted. Me saying I feel like wrong and off, but the only reason that is detectives wouldn't say nothing because yet again that's political. That's now that's 100% political. And if a story like this and he blew her from TikTok, I don't know if y'all remember going back last summer, the 5 obesity people, I ain't gonna say girls, obesity people that blew up off TikTok and then died of being off beast. How fast that story came, how fast that story went.
But simply, I think it all comes down to them not being able to prove how she died. And of course, they can take the route where we can prove you were in a relationship with her. That's the route they can take because that's what most people. That's what the most.
That's an O.J. Simpson role,
right?
But the thing,
that's not the route they want to take, though.
No, and they shouldn't. Honestly, I'm sorry, but it's gonna give him nothing. He's gonna get away with. I don't know. I don't think that. I don't agree now, but I don't think that that's the way that they should take it because everybody's saying, well, they haven't got him for the for her being dismembered in the backseat of the trunk, but we know that she was 14 and he's 21, so we should just arrest him for that. But it's like it's deeper
You
than that.
can't arrest him for that if he has the Romeo and Juliet Act. And that's still law, I think, in California.
But you know why they haven't? Why I think they haven't arrested him for that? Because so many people would be complicit. So many famous rich people will be complicit. She was at his shows, backstage. Y'all have to know this. That's why they want to get him for the murder. But they can't prove how she died.
Yeah, if you can't prove that, then yeah. And if I did a murder and I know that however I did it, you know what I'm saying, the only way to get it evidence is to dismantle. Because yet again, they say dismantle. Now,
California
go ahead.
California does not have a formal Romeo and Juliet law, but it provides a close in age exception. In California, the age of consent is 18 years old. With a person under 18 is considered unlawful.
What if I have a consent from one of the parents?
Let me look that up. Hold on.
Because the only reason I'm using that and I need to know that is because the simple fact of the rumor of people knowing that they was in a relationship. And I did see the pictures of them sitting together. So I'm not gonna act like other people would do, ignore like you just didn't sit up here and see that they had pictures of them sitting together. Look like at a restaurant or something.
It's all unfortunate.
While she's looking that up, I'm gonna be
Maybe looking into an alleged trip that David had made to a remote area of Santa Barbara County in the middle of the night months ago in the spring. Spent a couple hours there. This is a new allegation. TMZ's Harvey Levin saying on his Two Angry Men podcast that he believes, quote, that Santa Barbara trip is the key to this case. Now, a police source told People magazine that while LAPD haven't been able to pinpoint exactly when Celeste died, quote, springtime is the closest we've come to determining the time of her death, not before that. Again, this is unidentified source, no independent verification of that, particularly from the LAPD. Before I go any further, before I go into the next development, let me just say this real quick. Whether this is true or not about what happened to Celeste, this must be incredibly painful for Celeste's family.
Okay.
This theory to hear.
It says engaging in sexual acts with someone below the age of consent can lead to serious legal consequences, including charges of SA. So that doesn't exist in California.
and I'm just assuming that this guy definitely 100% not locked up.
Yeah,
He's free,
you're free.
hiding.
Hiding?
Don't know where he's hiding. Yeah, nobody knows where he's at. He's either in Texas or California. Nobody knows where he's at. All they know is they haven't seen him since, they found the girl in the car and he was going on a world tour, and then they canceled the world tour, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Smart. What a typical normal average person would do is scared. Especially if I'm looking for a lawyer to defend me, especially if I haven't went to court, especially if there's no technically charged to me at the moment.
But allegedly, he's the main suspect as of the grand jury.
And see, this is the part that kills me is that court has actually happened.
Yes. And everybody is subpoenaed to be quiet. They cannot speak about it.
I don't know about that.
Right. You want to know why? Because why is we in court and we ain't got nobody to charge?
No, they have
No.
somebody to charge.
Okay, so
He
who
is
do
the
we?
main he is the main suspect allegedly.
But he hasn't been indicted yet.
He sure has not, and that's where I'm confused.
So
So
that's
he's just a suspect.
so there's got to be other suspects. There's got to be some other something. It's just not headlighting enough for them to talk about. It's got to be. I would shit on a bull and say that it is because it just.
No.
Go ahead.
The only way I can see it, I mean, I'm not disagreeing, but I feel like the only way that can happen is if they, like I was saying, they don't want to say too much to tip off the person who they really think did it.
That's like saying that I think he's gonna do it again. That's what that almost ain't that what it sounds almost like to you? Anybody else?
No, you know, a person might flee, they might have the means to just disappear, you know?
Of course I'm gonna disappear. But then I know what people are thinking in the front of your minds. I know what all you're saying. If I'm innocent, why do I just not turn myself in? Huh?
Well, he hasn't been charged, so he doesn't need to do that. But he is not cooperating either, which makes you look more guilty. And we all know it's the state's burden to prove, and that may be where it's stuck. I'm not totally sure.
Because I would say he should have with the Black Lives Matter real quick. Hey, I'm a black man getting framed for something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot this black on black, huh?
No, not he. She was Hispanic, but he can't go nowhere because he was in a relationship with her.
I'm in a relationship, don't mean I killed her. Don't mean
Found in the backseat of your truck, in the backseat of your car. I mean, in the trunk of your car. Come on, man.
Man,
listen, you was in a relationship with her. Let's start there.
Okay, we starting there.
Let's start.
And she was 14, and he was in his 20s.
Right. That's why he got to disappear. You ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't saying you killed her, but let's start with the how you knew her. Yeah, you were in a relationship with her.
Yeah, how did y'all start talking?
Discord. Because he was a Fortnite streamer.
I wish you wouldn't have. Well, oh my God. Interesting. Let's hear more. See what's up.
This report, and I don't want that to get lost in all of this. Yes, there's a large community who's following, invested,
we live.
More information about enforcement.
Yeah, we on YouTube.
The sound went out again. I don't know if it's me or what.
What you say?
I said that sound went out and ain't nothing was playing.
So you didn't hear the video?
No.
Do me a favor, go out and come back in. You might have to do that.
disposal of Celeste's body. In fact, acclaimed criminal defense attorney Mark Garrett said on his Two Angry Men podcast with and Garrigo's claimed that it was a combination of cell phone data and electronic data from
that
Tesla,
first paycheck you
location
get,
data
boy.
from social media, that all
Go get
for this second potential suspect. With Garrigo saying he thinks this all means that this person, quote, connected to one of the last times that car was moved. And when we spoke to Steve Bishop, a private investigator, who was hired by the person that owned the rental property that David had lived at, he said he saw video of someone driving that Tesla and provided that information to law enforcement.
You know what? With this case, and this case is definitely head boggling, and I'm gonna, because of y'all, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna keep up with it, but when I know y'all looking at him like that, well, man, I ain't gonna. I need y'all look at him. Where's the whole crew? Huh?
What whole crew?
His crew.
Hiding too.
All right, so this what I'm gonna bring up is from 3 weeks. Let's get out. Y'all know we scattering today all over because this is my first time hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? I know I probably should start from the beginning, but nah, I want to get into the juices. All right. But now that I know that we will be covering this, especially when Kick Ass Nick and Nene is around, definitely gonna be covering this until until somebody get locked up, I guess. But this young man right here,
the reported friend of David, someone who
I just want to say that right. I just want y'all to hear that because that's all I wanted to hear. But yet again, this guy David, who started off as a streamer on Fortnite, became a TikTok superstar, had a world tour, all these good things. Ended up with a unfortunate body in a Tesla, decapitated, dismantled to where forensic couldn't solve it, and they really couldn't solve it. But he's the main suspect because the girl is 14. He's a superstar, and they was in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just want to speed everybody up to par and thank y'all for coming through. And yes, I've been scattering around, hearing all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, so a couple things I thought about was like, why if the FBI knows, because Kick Ass Nick said, hey, that he thinks the FBI knows. I'm like, well, if they know, that'd be political, why they wouldn't say nothing about it. Okay, cool. And then I was like, him, and what about the friends? I'm like, dude gotta have friends. Like,
Yeah, they were hiding. One just got arrested because it didn't show up to grand jury.
so also was like, understand underage California's cameras everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If FBI is involved, it's not that hard as I'm. Matter of fact, I don't even tell you. I'm probably just gonna send you a letter. I'm gonna look through all your cameras, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm the FBI. I have a case. I'm pretty sure it works something like that. I could be wrong. You still probably gotta go get letters from judges and stuff like that. Okay, whatever. Sorry for the families for the child lost. I know nobody wants to hear a story like that. But yet again, we're getting a little bit further into this story. And I kept saying, like, man, it's like something about friends that we're not hearing. And this is the first time we get to hear something about a friend. Let's get into it.
was arrested. Someone who allegedly testified in front of a grand jury hearing evidence in the case involving the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The man known as Neil Langston just took to Instagram, and he had a lot to say. It was quite revealing, and he seemingly threw David under the bus. We're going to break.
I'm gonna say this, and I know y'all gonna get tired of me stopping, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this all the way. When I seen the outfits,
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, brother. Who you been hanging out? You know what I'm saying? Now, I just think for real, if they really want to point him to it, it should be enough thing that he posts because he look like a poster. I'm gonna say this nicely. Okay. He looks like a poster. He look like, you know what I'm saying, every and little everything. How y'all was describing and telling me about the story and how y'all have so much evidence pointing at him because yeah, it looked like he posted a lot. A lot. I woke up this morning, had a bowl of oranges. They was not that good.
But that's the thing, though. Even if you're a poster, they don't have evidence of him committing the murder. They probably got the evidence they need for
But
you know?
I'm sorry. But I'd have Chucky by way I'd have this right. I'd have set it up Chucky, Jason, Hellraiser, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'd have seen all this stuff. I know how to Oh, what was that funny movie they did it in? Method Man, Red Man.
How
Hi. They did it in that scene too. Man, you finna go back to the cemetery and get a bad body. They have to. I'm sorry, let me stop doing that. Back to the story.
What he posted and what this means. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law Crime. I'm Jesse Rutherford.
You know, you gotta get past the little commercial part that he's gonna do. Anybody got something nice to say?
Good morning. No, because good morning. Mm-hmm. Yep. That right there.
She gonna throw my back out.
Remember this picture, okay?
Remember this picture.
Yeah, remember this picture.
Does his shirt say something?
Remember the first one too.
David's shirt. That's all. That's why they ain't really got how it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, on this one. Oh yeah.
I think his shirt say I'm with homo or be gay or something. I swear to God.
Yeah, I think it does actually.
Homicide singer, who was arrested out in Montana back in January on a Los Angeles warrant for reportedly failing to appear as a witness. That he was reportedly arrested at his mom's house and then taken to Los Angeles' Metropolitan Detention Center and bonded out $60,000 bail. He then reportedly testified in front of a grand jury hearing evidence in connection with this case back in February that he allegedly spent about 30 to 45 minutes inside that grand jury room. Relatively short amount of time to testify if you think about it. So you do wonder, did he plead the fifth, right? Did he invoke his right against self-incrimination, not to say anything that could be used against him in a criminal case? It also raised a lot of questions about why he was apparently called to testify by the government and wasn't the target of this grand jury probe, right? In other words, why weren't prosecutors
So this is a Fed case. This is not a state case. That's why y'all ain't getting that. For one, that's why we ain't getting that much information. Okay.
maybe pursuing a case against him as a co-defendant? This raised a lot of questions. Now I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But again, at the Time of this recording, neither David nor anyone else has officially been arrested or charged in connection with the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose dismembered and decomposed body was found in the trunk of a car allegedly registered to David back in September in LA. Yes.
I'm gonna pause right there because that's just amazing.
What's amazing?
Like nobody's charged.
Right.
It's just the nobody charged part. Normally they holding somebody with something. Like I'm thinking, even if it's the wrong person, you know what I'm saying? They sticking somebody with something. This is one of those rare cases that I have ever read across where this has happened and nobody has not a charge at all. It's I ain't gonna lie. This y'all got me right here. Y'all got my antennas up on this.
There's been a lot of speculation, but no confirmation that Celeste and David were in some kind of relationship. Authorities haven't officially come out and said that. But she had been missing for quite some time before her body was found. Now, here's what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to read you what you.
Now y'all kept saying that they was in a relationship, but he's so real quick. Which one?
It was definitely known that they were in a relationship.
So that's what we're gonna go. That's what we're gonna go with, or we're gonna go with what my lawyer. Well, not my lawyer. This ain't my lawyer, but you know the lawyer side. Which
It was known that they were
No,
together.
okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the Burn Live jury, we're gonna go as they known as the Black David was in a relationship with the 14-year-old girl. We're gonna go with that now.
Neil Langston just posted
Allegedly
on his Instagram account. And I'm telling you, it's quite telling, okay? And I'm curious why he posted it, why of all times right now. I'm going to try to put it into context a bit more, but this is important. This is a big development. So Neo took to Instagram with a series of posts. There was one that said, I understand due to my silence and the silence in general, it leaves a void of information that everyone wants to fill. But at the end of the day, this case isn't about you. It's about getting justice for the victim and her family. And I care a lot more about that than trying to fill that void because of public opinion. Obviously wasn't doing my part at first, but now I am. I stayed loyal to my mindset and I will continue to. I'm not publicly going to give any opinion or emotion about this case because I find it disrespectful and not my place to weigh in on it, especially as it's still ongoing. I'm not going to spam post to justify and perform my feelings and thoughts for the internet, trying to satisfy people who have already made up their minds about me. In time, the record will speak for itself, and I'm moving on with my life. Another post where he apparently said, I think the word.
that is a post just to gain attraction. Knowing that any slip up of any way, shape of moving the needle, that's why he's making sure he's keeping all comments, all personal, anything that even remotely talks about the case out of it. That's just to gain attraction.
First part is that I've told so many people that I trust that I thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the window as soon as I get arrested and they slap that Leap's name next to mine, assuming he's referring to David here. And for the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. They never filed it. My work was retracted because there is more to the story than what's on the news.
Just keep in mind, they got this from Instagram. This post.
Understandable.
He posted on his story.
It's the fact that I'm under the influence. There's definitely somebody. What they call them people that they put out there?
What you mean?
In the industry plant. Ain't that the word they call it? Industry plant?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
that's exactly what it is.
So if this an industry plant goes wrong, and if this is what I'm hearing,
I wouldn't even say that. I'd just say you got to pay attention to where this shit happening at. This in California. That shit happen all the. You know how Hollywood is allegedly. You know, so they don't want to investigate that part. They want that murder, but they ain't got nothing. They have nothing.
how can you? If we want to go back to a question, and I don't, but I'm gonna try. I'm just asking for the audience and everybody to keep this in the back of your mind. You really have to ask yourself, how can you solve a case if the body decapitated to where you cannot really forensic a body? So if you can't do that, what you do is go after people that was close around until one slips up. You know, odd questioning, middle of the night, awkward calls, you know, the little police harassment as people would call it. Because you need a slip up, you need some type of something. Because yet again, I'm thinking FBI camera access should be easy. Phone calls, I need all phone calls they did in the last 48 hours, or well, in this case, probably the last 3-4 months. Phone records, tweets, any all of that. I need all of that.
Do you think they have all that for this case?
FBI?
Whoever investigated.
If we say FBI, I'm saying yes. If we're saying a local police officer investigating, no.
They probably got all that shit.
But yet again, this is a federal case.
I mean, they probably got all that shit. They saw the Chinese boy driving the car and parking it. That's why they got him up there, you know?
I told you, entourage. But your entourage just can't be just him. Like that ain't an entourage.
They obviously got him knowing something about something.
Being my best friend. No? Okay, I need better jokes today. I get it.
Here's this post. Thankfully, I'm legally fine in every way. And boy, do I got all my receipts for things. Ha 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 ha. This raises a lot of questions about why he posted this. Obviously, he can't and will not say anything to jeopardize his legal rights, right? Probably instructed by the government to not say anything either if he had spoken in front of the grand jury. Probably his attorney said, don't say anything. You know, his attorney was consulted with this post, but it seems like he's trying to correct whatever misconception or misunderstanding the public has on him or his alleged role, because there is a lot of talk about it. And it is interesting, he never really gets into specifics, right? He doesn't mention the crime or the alleged crime, doesn't mention Celeste by name, doesn't mention David by name, we can assume who he's talking about based on the post. He doesn't mention what these receipts are or what this is a reference to. Is it photos? Is it messages? His account, his testimony? And I don't know if these other people that he's referring to, who's putting blame are other witnesses who named him or people in his inner circle who turned on him. Not entirely sure. But he believes that in due time, based on this post, that his side of the story is going to make the light of day. Interesting. I got to say this real quick. We cover a lot of concerning things here on Sidebar, so that's why I just want to give a quick shout out to our partners. Have you ever hesitated?
Damn it. Wasn't trying to put that up there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you got my interest in this case. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. Definitely see what's more involved, what's not involved with this, and see where we can take this. Actually, see if I can bring this to one of my daytime shows. I need to. Also, Kick Ass Nick will be bringing his show where all true crime cases will be on the Burn Live Show, coming to the Burn Live Show. Gaming on
Did you
Wednesday.
say true crime?
True crime.
True
Okay.
crime.
Yes, true crime is coming. Fashion shows is coming to the Burn Live. Man, hey, Burn Live is stepping up with new things, new channels, new ideas, new vibe, new everything. I appreciate everybody that's joining us. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time that you are watching. I appreciate you. What I always like to say is, good night, kapeash.
Good night, Kapeash.